the rights of a tenant if you are in a place that doesn't have fans, doesn't have a heater, doesn't have air conditioning. Now, Joe, again, I'm a little twixt and tween here because if you want to rent and you advertise that it's a one-bedroom place and somebody says, well, I really got two bedrooms. Well, sorry, there's only one bedroom here. If you tell people there's no aircon, then at some point in time. However, if you are in the financial circumstances that says, I can only afford to rent and I can only afford to rent this much, should you be punished by then further not having heating and not having cool?
Yeah, I'm a little bit... I think it's one of those things where... look, you can't rent a hole in the ground to someone, right? And say, oh, well, that's what the market can bear. You know, this person only has $2, so I'm going to give them this bit of dirt and a shovel. And so the place that you are renting out has to be livable. And there are certain basic things. It has to have plumbing, has to have electricity. I don't see why not if it is in an environment, if it is in a part of the world that has very high extremes of hot and cold, I think there should be an obligation to provide at least some, I don't know, and I was surprised to learn that this doesn't exist, but there would have to be some kind of benchmark of livability. I mean, you could never rent anywhere in the UK that didn't have some form of heating, for example, because people would literally die in the winter. So I don't see why that doesn't apply here, and I wonder
But again, interestingly, in this thing that Channel 2 had tonight, right, where part of the story that they're building is that one of the problems is even if you have the air conditioner, do you have the money to pay for the power?
Absolutely, that's an issue.
And it's like, well, hang on, the same people who tonight are trying to make me think about that tonight are the same people telling us we've got to absolutely change everything about the electricity grid, which, as we've seen tonight, is on its way towards, giant 20% increase in July, let alone the tens of billions everywhere else. So I have a solution to this, but I want to hear your opinion first.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your solution because I think it's a really difficult one. I feel sorry for anyone who isn't comfortable in the place in which they dwell, the place that they live. But I don't think we can force landlords to put air conditioners into places. You make a choice, and if they did, then the price would probably go up. If they had to put something in, they're going to have to pass that cost on in some way, shape or form. Your rent goes up. There's been times when I was 18, 19, looking at rentals, we'd go to 4 or 5 different places, and the market was obviously a lot easier then than it is now for people, much less competitive. But I would save $40 a week on a place that didn't have air conditioning, and I'd rather, use that at the pub. It's a choice that you make. And if you can't, if you're in a position where a lot of people are where they can't make that choice, difficult, love to hear your solution, but I don't think the solution lies in forcing landlords to put in expensive equipment that the tenant's then going to have to pay for.
Well, my solution is two things, right? Which is, generally speaking, the way that a market works, which is that in order to attract somebody to your property to maybe charge $5 a week more in rent, you invest in the air conditioner or to say it comes with. That's the first. The second is that we've seen at all levels of state and federal government this stupid voucher system. A voucher system for this, a voucher system for that. $500.
Have you used your voucher?
Yes, I am hitting that like Normandy. I am just all over it.
So my point is that why not for renters who have a bond that's already been lodged with the bond organisation, which is run by the state government, bond of X dollars, so you know that it's about people at the absolute low end of the market, that they will be able to have $200 voucher to go off and buy the fan or to buy the heater. So at the very least, the absolute extremes are taken off things. Now, it's just the beginning of a solution. The other one is, I'm sorry, whether people want to hear this or not, it's outrageous to me that public housing in 2023 doesn't come with either of those things. Now, it's not meant to be 5 stars, not meant to have a communal pool, you're not meant to have, the barbecue. I understand, right? But the idea that you are being doubly punished for being poor is not okay with me.
Absolutely.
And not okay with,
you're absolutely correct.
No doubt, any of us.
I knew you were a lefty on the inside.
God, you're wasted in TV. You should be in policy.
Oh, yeah, God love you. I'm just still thinking about just 4-leaf clovers. If I had one, it'd be like ivy down the side of a building by now.
When I was heavily pregnant, it was more an oak tree. It's shrunk back now. Looks a little different.
God love you. God love you. That's why you got to listen to each and every morning as well.